Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and we have a big boy today. We are going to be reacting to the new episode of Death Battle, which just came out, something that a lot of people have been very excited for during the last few weeks, let alone the last few years. We have Bowser from Nintendo's Super Mario versus Eggman from Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog. You guys know this is one of my most wanted death battles, or it was one of my most wanted death battles for a very long time, and to have yet another one of my most wanted just staring me in the face is insane to see. I am so excited to see what Death Battle has done with this one, especially since the hype from not just the community but also the crew itself has been insane. People keep hyping up this episode, and I know that Ben Singer doesn't want people's expectations to get too high. I'm sorry, my expectations are high. Like, it really sounds like this is going to be one of the best things they've ever made, and I really hope I'm not eating my words by the end of it, but I do love these characters so much. I do love this debate so much, so I'm sure that I'm going to enjoy this a lot on some level. I'm just really excited to see what they do, and I don't even want to make this intro that long because I really want to get to watching this, but just to get the normal stuff out of the way, I'm rooting for both of the characters. I really cannot pick one over the other. I think they're just amazing villains, two of my favorite villains of all time, not just video games. I generally have more of a love for Sonic the Hedgehog as a series, although I still love Mario, don't get me wrong, but I do have a soft spot in my heart for Bowser. He was my Mario Kart character during Mario Kart Wii. He was my favorite Mario character when I was a kid, and he's one of my favorite Mario characters still to this day, so I love Bowser a lot, and it kind of just evens out, so I really love both of the characters. In terms of who I think is going to win, at this point, I have no clue. In my prediction video, I did go with Bowser, but I am well aware that both of these characters have very viable win cons. It feels like either of these characters could really win the fight easily, and it's just a matter of how is everything going to play off of each other, and there's so many factors in this debate that it's really hard to wrap your head around it. But in general, I'm just so excited for this episode that who wins and why they win, that's the least of my mental priorities. I'm just really excited to see what Death Battle is cooked with this one, so I don't want to wait any longer. Without further ado, let's get to watching this. So yeah, look at this, guys. This is insane. I did see the trailer for the animation.
Versus Dr. Eggman,
so
the king of the Koopas,
again, my hype is just through the roof.
And they're not alone. He's
very not alone.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills.
I just gotta pay attention to what they focus on, because this is gonna be a lot of information, even if I do know a decent amount of it already.
The Mushroom Kingdom.
Okay, wait, hang on. Let's pause this because I'm seeing a black box right now. All official material related to a character is applied to analysis unless found contradictory to primary source material. This includes English translations, certain alternate media, theatrical releases, and crossovers are not applicable. Okay, so yeah, just to get that out of the way really quick, that's good to do.
And of kindness, adventure, love.
Ah, boring! Move aside, princess! It's time this place got way more awesome!
I mean, Bowser is awesome.
Himself, better known as Bowser.
The moment this orphan star child
I'm so happy both of these characters are getting their well-deserved run
command
backs.
the disparate outcasts of the mushroom world, the Koopa clan.
Sadly, not everyone's born a toad, and they treat these critters like monsters, fated to a life
He's
of
34, okay.
farming for
Interesting. Oh yeah, that poor guy.
World. But Princess
but it's
Peach
necessary.
would never allow the evil king's day in the sun. Her light was so bright, Bowser became infatuated with her.
So he turned all
Peaches.
the toads into bricks.
That was a fun
kidnapped
movie.
her, putting their princess in another castle, and another, and another.
Yeah, no, it never
40
ends.
Years of castles, only to be released if she agrees to marry him and his dad bud.
Yet he was foiled time and time again by those pesky Mario brothers. However, Bowser is nothing if not persistent.
Look
Oh, I mean, he's been
at
around
him.
for this long,
Dude's
yeah.
built like a brick house strapped to a saw trap. That spiked shell takes a lot of punishment. Not even the weight of a castle can scratch it, especially when it rolls up like
so
a
much more than that,
prehistoric
too.
Beyblade.
And the Koopa King doesn't just breathe fire and control lava, he commands nature itself.
Spitting meteors from outer space, beckoning the earth.
Yeah, that's
with
a lot of
snap,
magic.
inhaling
And a
torrents
lot of
wind,
enhanced
straight
forms.
up calling down lightning. What else has he got?
Oh, just a little dabbling in dark magic.
Hell
Yeah, dabbling is
Wizard
one
turtle.
word for
The
it.
original NES manual even describes him as a sorcerer king. Magic
Mm-hmm.
is how he turned the toads into bricks, only countered by the princess's heart magic.
But that's not all the magic he's mastered.
Wonder if they're gonna scale how
Telekinesis,
powerful
creating
that
perfect
is, but-
Clones, reanimating his undead
Perfect clones,
skeleton,
okay, that
and
could
worst
help.
of all, ruining every game of Mario Party.
Dude, Mario Party is the quickest way to lose friends.
Fair and square.
Bowser spent decades
Yeah,
hoarding treasures,
that's pretty
coins,
rough.
magic star rods, warships, clown cars, you name it. This is the same
They're talking about
guy
the
that created
canonicity of
multiple
Paper
flying
Mario,
castles
okay.
fashioned after his own face.
Yeah, he's definitely got an ego on him. He's talked about having a 4-digit IQ, but I've seen this moron
I mean,
put death
like,
traps in his own
He's smart
backyard.
in
A
some
man
ways,
after
but
my own
is
heart.
that level
Despite
really
his
backed up,
clumsiness,
you know?
Bowser's charisma and leadership brought many to his side. Not enough
Mm-hmm.
to defeat Mario, but his army doesn't make it easy on the Red Plumber.
They're the
Nope.
most wicked
Especially when
band
you
of
combine everything
misfits this
together.
side of World 8-4.
Often he's fighting things like one
The
by one.
Koopa Troop.
An army spanning multiple territories across the Mushroom World and beyond.
Goombas, Koopas, the Troopas, and the others make up the infantry. Some with wings, some in shoes,
Yeah.
and some even in race cars. They're the red
Mario
shirts,
Kart 8 Deluxe
first
is
in
amazing.
and first out.
Piranha plants, bloopers,
Well, yeah,
and Lagatoo's use
a lot
their
of them
surroundings
are-
to get the jump on
are really
unsuspecting
small,
prey,
you know,
land,
not
sea,
that
or
powerful.
sky.
We'd be here forever jotting down the small fries. Booze, shy guys,
exactly,
bombs
yeah.
with feet, and more.
It was imperative for Bowser to nurture a unit that covers their own vulnerabilities. For example, Kamek and King Boo both have magic, but Boo has battlefield control with illusions and destabilizing dimensions, while Kamek focuses
Illusions
on
could help.
buffing allies, canceling enemy powers, summoning anything he desires.
Or swapping my items to screw up my Mario Party
Yeah.
lead. Not again.
Speaking of items, most of the minions can use pretty much any power-up Mario can. The Goombas make
Right,
frequent
yeah,
use of
and that's
Tanuki
really
tails,
important.
And Bowser can really get into the cat role play. But as the Koopa troop grew, and
Never
grew,
thought I would
it
hear
started
Wiz
to feel
say that.
less like an army and more like a family unit.
Oh, you mean like his
Yeah, well,
kids,
some of them, the
Koopa
big
League.
ones
they're
at
adopted.
least.
What's the difference?
Good point. Bowser
Phineas
took them
and
in
Ferb.
and even trained them in dark magic.
Though no one's as spoiled as his natural Nepo baby, Bowser Jr.
Right,
captain
yeah,
of the
he's
Koopa
got
Troop.
the most
Spoiled
stuff.
is an understatement. Remember his escapades as Shadow Mario? He terrorized Delfino Plaza with literal evil paint. That whole debacle was basically his attempt at elementary school art class.
And I
Right.
bet Bowser still has some on the fridge. But really,
Yeah, I wonder
the
what
king
grade he
is
got on
very
that.
protective of his kids. If the fam's in trouble, he can will himself to transform into a giant kaiju, off to crush whatever bully's talking smack.
Maybe a little overkill. Just one.
I mean,
punch
have you
from
seen his
Giant
other
Bowser
forms?
launched a castle out of orbit. Taking into account the flight path and the scale of their universe,
Yes, of
Bowser's
course.
punch must have hit with a force of over 125 trillion tons of TNT.
A lot of
Considering
tons.
How Yoshi punted poor Raphael the Raven so hard he exploded into a constellation of stars. This isn't even close to Bowser's full strength.
Oh no, no, no,
Bully
no.
his kid, especially
Oh, the
if he
Nintendo
falls
Switch
into some
commercial
of
is
Bowser
fun.
Jr. set of black paint. That stuff's scary.
Enough to unleash Bowser's Dark Fury.
Yeah,
a form
yeah.
Whose very steps cause widespread natural disasters.
Okay, seriously, how does Mario ever beat this guy? He's like Godzilla, Doctor Strange, and John Cena all in one big turtle.
We're not even to the best part.
I mean,
Bowser's
you're the main
dark
character, that's how you
magic
win.
Became so potent, he eventually learned how to warp the very fabric of reality.
Anything the king imagines, he makes happen. He turned all of Yoshi's Island into a storybook. And remember those
Yeah.
painted worlds in Mario 64?
I do.
Yeah, he made those. And the staircase
Good artist,
that goes
then.
on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Oh God, does anyone know how to BLJ?
He also stole ultra powerful
What a
items like
kaleidoscope.
the Wonder Flower, which can mold reality like Play-Doh, and the
Well, it's
Dream
kind of
Stone,
unpredictable,
which can
though,
be
right?
used to wish someone out of existence.
But his most
Right, yeah.
iconic
Dream
gifts
Stone
are
is really
those
good.
big shiny power stars.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Infant power stars, aka Lumas, can become whole galaxies. They also ferried Mario across the universe in 3 seconds. That's 489 quadrillion times light
That's
speed.
very, very
Obviously,
fast.
the Big Daddy Grand Stars are
Of
even
course, we're talking about
crazier.
Sonic
Bowser
stuff on the
used
other
one to
end, so.
power his space kingdom, but then guess who showed up to ruin everything? It's a him.
And when the Grand
It's a
Star
him.
was freed, it caused a chain reaction that destroyed the entire universe via a massive black hole.
Yep.
Thanks, space god, that Rosalina showed up to save the day.
Not that Bowser needed saving. He's
No.
been swallowed by another black hole and thrown into a star that went supernova.
Yeah.
Imagine if this crazy
Really
OP
tough.
fire turtle
Very
had
hard to kill.
Fight himself. Oh wait, he did, and he beat the hell out of him.
With all this power,
Very
it's no
cool.
wonder he's still
Is that both a
hasn't
feat
conquered
and an
the Mushroom
anti-feat,
Kingdom.
though?
Perhaps it's because his visions of grandeur were never really what he sought. Surrounding him is a crew of outcasts and miscreants like him. Ride or dies.
I mean, it's not good to turn people into bricks, but...
Are you saying he's secretly happy because he's got a big monster family now?
I mean, yeah, he's not alone,
Also,
no matter how you slice
when they
it.
together, they legitimately conquered most of the known universe. So...
He's a baddie through and through who will teleport through space and time to show you what's what.
That one weird one-off thing, yeah.
Koopa. Make way for the king.
Game over. Very cool. Okay, now Eggman.
Sponsored by Prize Picks.
We got an ad. Let's skip to Eggman. Okay, now we have Eggman.
Citizens of Earth, lend me your ears.
And they have a similar note at the
Imagine a world
top.
of
Good.
endless possibility, where people are free as the wind. Isn't it disgusting? Now imagine a better world.
I mean, I
with
guess
proper
Wiz would
guidance and the
sympathize with
technology to bring about
Robotnik a
global
little bit.
peace.
But Wiz, only a brilliant mind can make that happen.
Not just any.
Did I see
mind.
Wile
He's
there?
A genius at heart who knows the dangers within. He's Ivo Robotnik.
Dr. Eggman.
Yeah.
As a mad scientist myself, his story is my inspiration.
I like
Just
how they're
as
still
Eggman's
trying to
was his
incorporate
grandfather, Gerald
the Wiz and
Robotnik,
Boomstick
who
models
sought
in
to
any way
create
they
world
can.
peace
That's
through
nice.
technology. But then his beloved granddaughter, Maria, was killed by the Guardian Unit of Nations.
Yeah,
better
we
known as
don't like
Good.
that.
They're freaking called G-U-N.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and we're gonna
like
see
he grew
that,
up
I
a lonely
assume,
narcissist
in December.
because all his family
Very
talked
excited for
about
that
was
movie.
Maria this, Maria that. Boo-hoo.
Neglect
Yeah, come on,
and
man, she
envy
died.
tainted Ivo's goals of following Gerald's footsteps. He distanced himself from his grandfather's legacy. Instead of bettering the world, he would conquer it.
Such
to get
hubris.
the attention he deserved.
It's kind of awesome. For a villain, you know.
Tomato, tomato.
You just said it the same way
He
twice.
came to establish Eggman Land.
What was that? The salad is hot and the soup is
and
cold.
This paradise would have worked just fine if not for that.
Hates that
blasted
hedgehog,
son of a
also
hedgehog.
cold
For
soup. Yep,
years,
okay, I got it.
Eggman's plans literally blew up in his face. And he's a very sore loser.
But just like
But he's
any
still
good
around,
experiment,
right?
The doctor did more testing, seeking better results.
He's created plenty of knickknacks to terrorize the world with. A laser gun, a cloning ray, mind control cannons, a flying armada, typical evil
Yep.
scientist stuff.
Then there's the big
Lots of
ones.
tech,
He invented
specifically.
a spatial displacement trap, which, while online, scatters a target's atoms across space. Oh, and then there's the metal
How far
virus,
across
which
space?
transmutes
And
organic
can they get
tissue
out?
into living metal zombies.
Oh, right, yeah,
it's
yeah.
so deadly, it created a plague that nearly wiped out all life on Earth.
Shame Eggman
And-
never made himself immune to it. That's a whoopsie.
And when he's
Okay,
not duking
yeah, I
you
guess
with
there's
decoys,
that.
he's
But a
riding
lot
in
of
style
Bowser's
with
troops
the
are organic. They basically
It's
all
lightweight
are.
for maneuverability, but tough enough to withstand moon-sized explosions in even the center of a black hole.
I mean, it's kind
And that's just that little thing, right? Yeah, he's got more.
Like the Egg Walker or the Death Egg Robot, whose giant laser once obliterated 77,000 cubic meters of rock in an instant. That's like having
I mean, that's
atomic
already a
bomb
pretty
in your
small
pocket
number
all the
compared to what we've
time.
seen.
Oh, okay.
But okay.
Maybe this guy's pretty cool.
Eggman built machines for a long list of combat
Yeah,
situations.
there's so many
Some look
things.
like knights,
It'd be impossible
others
to go
use
in depth with all
extraterrestrial
of them.
sources like the Wisps. And then there's the orbital bases, like the Death Egg.
The reference is obvious, but
Oh,
Darth Vader's
yeah.
version is like a toy compared to the Death Egg, which can annihilate stars. Woof! A whole constellation gone in one shot.
That's not to say
Well, a
Eggman
constellation's
doesn't
a lot
enjoy
more than just a
scrapping
star.
with Blue Hedgehogs
Yeah.
himself. Enter the Egg Dragoon.
Hell yeah! The rawest of the battle mechs. It's got electric drills. It's got ice missiles. It's got a whole lot of bullets. My God!
Oh yeah, and we
man.
just keep going on the side
need it.
there.
And don't forget, Eggman built
We got the
all
time
of these
meter,
things himself.
Egg
Maybe
Wizard.
World domination is in his grasp yet.
One problem: Eggman's a turbo loner. No hobbies, no friends, no wife.
Well, he kind of
no
made
nothing.
all of his
Come on,
allies,
he
well,
has
most of
friends.
them.
I mean, he's a feminist. Oh, okay,
Well, yeah,
maybe
that
not,
too.
But what about Infinite? Sure, they might have joined forces over a mutually sought revenge against Shadow, but it counts. Sort of. Who needs friends when you can build friends?
Obviously,
be
Eggman
clear about
has
who
a
you're
tough
including,
time
though.
collaborating with others.
Please.
So he just built his own army instead.
The Eggman Empire.
So are they not including
The
Infinite?
Badniks are mass
Honestly, at this point, I don't know.
Buzz bombers, crab meats, caterpillars, egg robos, and don't forget those cute little moto bugs.
Yeah.
The Badniks may
I mean,
seem
they're
simple,
fun to
but
kill,
they're led
for
by
sure.
An elite, multi-talented unit, the hard-boiled heavies. Really leaning into the egg thing, huh?
The
Oh, yeah,
army
no,
has
he
a
does
wide
not
variety
stop.
of troops, even your classic comedy duo with Orbot and Cubot. They're Eggman's assistants and immense disappointments. Every
Okay, but let's
genius
get to
has them
Scratch and
done.
Hey,
Grounder.
at least they're not scratching
Oh,
ground. That's why he's made
No way!
modeled after the Sonic cast.
Oh, that was great.
Favorite Robo Faker, Metal Sonic.
Metal Sonic
Oh,
has
yeah,
the
here we
most
go.
horsepower in the Eggman Empire. He has the moves and speed of Sonic and then some. He's had his rebellious phases, but Eggman's reprogrammed Metal to better follow his commands. Additionally, when upgraded to his Neo form, Metal Sonic could copy biological data, including unique powers like Shadow's time stop technique, Chaos Control.
He could
And biological
copy
data would
Super
definitely apply to
Psychokinesis,
Bowser's
and with
army.
enough Chaos energy, he powers up into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Whoa!
Everything would change with the appearance of the Phantom Ruby. One of many trump cards at Eggman's disposal, the Phantom Ruby alters reality by manipulating perception.
Basically, super
So
OP
again,
illusion,
kind of
but in
illusionary
its
stuff.
hands, it's a weapon of mass destruction. I don't know how illusions translate to body replicas, changing gravity, or making a fake sun, but
So,
go off, King.
I mean, they
And when
seem to be
used on the
very
planet's
powerful
consciousness,
illusions.
which is a thing, the Ruby granted Eggman the light
Right.
form. Yep, apparently Super
He's-
Eggman is canon.
he's got a
Though it is
Super
pretty
Eggman.
complicated to manifest.
But the Phantom Ruby isn't the only souped-up gem Eggman has.
Nope.
He's used the Jeweled Scepter to make the world-shattering Egg Wizard. Then, on more than one occasion, he's effortlessly gathered the super rare, super powerful Chaos Emeralds. You know, the things that power Super
Although that's not what
Saiyan
makes him
Hedgehog.
Super Eggman, but
built
yeah.
and built and built, and eventually he built something that started to build on him. Sage was
Right, this
originally
is
designed
pretty
as a mere
important.
assistant, but through an alien encounter, she was granted actual sentience.
Mm-hmm.
Sage is already super powerful, but now she's also super smart. She thought up millions of battle plans all at once to defeat the massive Titans.
And you can barely remember where you put your Dune Bug.
I know exactly where it
And yeah,
is.
in an
It's
army
at the
fight,
police
getting all that
impound.
information
Thank
is
you
really
very
good.
much.
Sage was Eggman's saving grace. He had previously found machines with personality lacking, but Sage's great adequacy in serving her function provided Eggman with something that, for the first time, he'd hate to lose. In
That's
essence,
nice.
a sort of daughter.
So,
Yeah.
like any good dad,
A little-
he gave her the
little bit
keys
of
to his
family
car,
for
his
him.
spaceship and his orbital death ray. Hell, now she controls the entire army.
And this frankly unheard of trust from Eggman became crucial in defeating the End, a primordial entity so mighty even Supersonic struggled against it.
Their battle can
Yeah.
only be described as peak fiction, because charged by 7 Chaos Emeralds.
I'm just gonna say that's the most
Supersonic's no
overused
joke.
phrase
The power of one
ever
emerald
these
can shift
days.
continents. All 7 together can shift the universe.
And kill some
So again,
pretty
universe
terrifying
shifting
bosses,
stuff.
like Eggman's Time Eater, which ripped apart space-time like tissue paper.
In short, Chaos Emeralds give thoughts power. With them, Eggman's best machines can run indefinitely while matching the greatest powers ever seen. Like
Yeah.
when 3 supers battled Solaris, who tried to destroy time itself. Solaris extended its chaos across
Oh boy, what are we
timelines in
looking
about
at
20
here?
seconds, or 73 quadrillion times light speed.
It's funny though.
that's about the
while
same as
Eggman's
what they said
smarts
for
have sort of
Bowser, or-
defeated
or
Sonic here and there,
the
he's
speed
pretty
feat they gave in his
effective when
analysis.
He teams up with the Blue Blur to save the world.
Well, recall how Professor Gerald was a good person before losing the granddaughter he
I do
loved.
recall.
In Eggman's case, now that he has Sage, perhaps a similar story is playing out in reverse.
Aww.
Nah.
Okay.
Eggman will always have a harebrained
I was about to say, is that
scheme
where
behind
it's
his
ending?
cufflinks.
So watch out, critters and plebeians of the world. He is the Eggman, and he's got the master plan.
Yeah, he does. So now we're done.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through
Now we
all
gotta talk about
possibilities.
it.
It's time for a death battle.
Time for a death battle! Pause the video. Okay, so, yeah. As I expected, this is tough. Because they both have so many things. And I knew they were going to try to focus on the stuff that's probably going to play into the outcome a lot. But even still, it's hard to compare those things together. Like, they talked about Sage and how she controls everything on Eggman's side, but like, that doesn't, as good as that is, that doesn't really seem to be like a direct counter to anything Bowser has. Like, I'm trying to think of the counters specifically. Although with her being able to go through like that many battle plans, like that's definitely good. That if she can do that and then she controls like everything on Eggman's side, then all the moving parts are at her disposal. So that's definitely, that could be an issue for such a complicated army fight like this. When I heard about the illusionary stuff for Bowser, it's like, okay, well, that could definitely help because, you know, again, with such a complicated battlefield, if you get confused, you could end up like fighting your own characters or something, like, or your own army. Like, that could be bad. But then Eggman also has illusionary stuff, and the highest stuff they said for power and speed seemed to be be pretty even with each other. There were some differences, but a lot of it seemed to be like somewhere in the tens or hundreds of quadrillions of times faster than light. And in terms of power, we're looking at like universe or beyond universal, stuff like that. So I don't really think it's going to come down to stats. And I didn't think it was going to come down to stats before, but I had to imagine if they were going to throw out numbers, like looking at the differences between those numbers might be important for what they come to. But it looks like it's not really going to be, unless I'm just forgetting something that they're going to calculate later. But yeah, this is rough. I still want to go back to stuff like Kamek being able to switch around, like power-ups and stuff and items, because if he just yoinks the Phantom Ruby away, and like, what does Sage count as? I don't think Sage counts as an item, even if she is robotic. Like, that seems a little strange, but there are definitely some really impressive things on Eggman's side that if they just get yoinked away, assuming it happens in time, and this is the kind of battle where once a disadvantage occurs, it can be really hard to gain the upper hand again. It could really be like a snowball effect. So again, there are just so many moving parts, but I still kind of want to say that out of what I've heard, I think counter-wise, Bowser just has more. I think he has more ways to undo Eggman's advantages, whereas while Eggman still has a lot of good advantages, and while he has all these battle plans thanks to Sage, like, that's the main thing that I'm thinking about, because in terms of strategy, regardless of what you want to say about Bowser's IQ, how you want to lean there, like, Eggman and Sage are definitely better in terms of strategy. So, if we're talking about, like, intelligence and who's going to be quicker to the punch, then I do think that could be bad for Bowser, but Bowser's empire also spanned across the galaxy or the universe or something. Like, it's a huge army that we're looking at. And also Metal's copy ability, that could be a problem too, because if he copies Kamek's magic, although to be fair though, they said that he can copy biological data. I'm not sure if he can copy magic. I'm actually not sure about that now that I say that out loud. So in terms of copying Kamek's magic or King Boo's magic or hell even Bowser's magic, he might not even be able to do that. And then in terms of, again, like Bowser's super forms and the fact that all of his characters can use the super items, and they said that he can make perfect clones, and we saw clones of at least Mario, maybe Luigi as well. Like, does that just mean he could essentially have Mario for all intents and purposes in the fight as well? Like, that'd be really good for him. So I could definitely be missing something. Eggman definitely has a lot of firepower, and if I'm missing something in terms of the exact numbers of the strength in numbers, then, I could see Eggman pulling this off. I do think both of them could win this fight, and again, that's why I love the debate so much, but for the time being, I am still going to stick with Bowser. I could very well be wrong. Let's watch this fight. I'm so excited. Already, he's getting married to... No! I'm sorry, Bowser. Yes?
This territory is now the base for my upcoming Eggman Land 2.
Okay.
What a joke.
I'm happy they gave Bowser a voice actor.
I am Dr. Eggman.
I can't keep complimenting the animation the whole time, but look at this. It is crazy. Well, let's go. Already so much mayhem. I like how Eggman is stepping in already. Oh, damn. I mean, going for Eggman quickly is what Bowser wants to do as well, so... Oh, but that's a decoy, yeah. I'm a little happier knowing they brought it out early, because otherwise I would have been worried about it coming out later. So we do have Infinite, okay. Yeah. Again, so many strong characters on each side that can just wash the other side. And right, his intangibility helps. Oh my god! Touchdown! Oh, so that's what Metal Sonic was going for, okay. Yeah, well, what's your rolling, Kamek? Oh no! Yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, shoot. That was like a Persona moment. Yeah, Junior, what you got?
You've lost the battle before it has begun.
Excellent work as always, Beto. Ready to wrap this up, Sage?
As you planned.
You know what they say, the more the merrier.
Oh, yikes. Come on, Bowser. Fury Bowser, right? Hell yes! Definitely easier to color. Oh, this is great. This is so great. The track sounds great, too. No. This can't be where it's... Oh, nice! How you feeling, Bowser? Oh, that's great. I was not expecting that, but that's awesome. Oh, shit. Okay. Bowser Jr., come on. There's so much. I'm gonna have to watch this so many times. There's so many things to look at.
How dare you?
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Okay. Oh shit! That's a problem. That's a problem for everyone.
The Death Egg! Max power!
I mean, what? You're not gonna hit yourself, though, are you? Yeah. Oh, he's just trying to escape now. But we know that's not how this is gonna end. Oh shit! Dry Bowser! Was that just a vaporization? But he's still here!
Curses! Sage! Fire is again!
Oh! Oh crap! Eggman, this is not what you want!
So long, Doctor!
Shit! Raining coins! Oh my god!
This war was not an easy one to win, which
No!
is surprising given how the Sonic series is not afraid to show how tough its cast is, while Mario's comes across as more cartoony.
But
Oh yeah,
turns out
more
Bowser
laid back
had
more
everything he
often,
needed to take
or more often than
Proto
Sonic
down.
at least.
Strap in. This one's a lot, so we'll break it down into 5 categories.
First
Sure.
up is physical stats. Bowser pretty handedly outmatched any of Eggman's usual mechs, like the Egg Dragoon
Yes.
or the Death Egg Robot.
The Death Egg robot could level cities.
My heart is
Bowser
still
could
beating
punch a
so
castle out
fast.
of orbit.
The Death Egg could destroy stars, but Yoshi could match that level.
I was
of
about-
power.
that's
And
something I forgot to bring up, that
Bowser's
there's also
certainly above the
constellation
green
stuff in
dinosaurs. Plus,
Mario.
while both Bowser and Eggman's tech survived black holes, Bowser's was much larger.
Okay.
He may win stats, but this could change with their powers.
Absolutely.
With so many items and minions, that could make all that a moot point.
Aside from power-up items, both could manipulate minds, create duplicates, and alter space.
Okay, so they both
However,
could.
Bowser
Fair
had
enough.
a significant edge in having access to the majority of his abilities at all times.
Yes.
Eggman can do some crazy stuff, but only across different mechs, fortresses, or space bases. Bowser's all natural. He's got all his best powers built in, and he ain't even
I mean,
a
thankfully
robot.
Sage can
Meaning
operate a
he
lot of
wins the
things,
war of
but
attrition.
yeah.
He even had counters for battle enders like the Metal Virus and Spatial Displacement Trap. Context matters for those weapons, and both backfired in the past. But more
They
importantly,
did.
Bowser could simply reverse the effects with his transmutation magic. Conversely,
Yeah.
most of Eggman's robots could get turned into, say, a frog or a block with no reliable way back.
You can't reverse
Bowser
that.
takes the edge in powers.
But definitely not for intelligence. Come
No.
on, you have a 4-digit IQ, Bowser? Really? That's cute. I mean,
For
don't
reference,
get me wrong,
Eggman's got
Bowser's
300.
not an idiot, usually.
So there's
He's
no way
really,
he's beating it
really
by that
clumsy.
much.
Poor fella.
Meanwhile, Eggman's an engineering genius who rarely ever gets bested by brains.
Easy
No.
dub. Now, let's talk trump cards.
As in,
This is
items
like the
so
biggest
powerful,
stuff.
They could decide the entire outcome on their own.
The
Yeah.
Phantom Ruby was super dangerous, but specifically targets perceptions. Unlike Bowser's Wonder Flower, which mucks up reality for real. The Ruby affected
Right.
a whole planet.
I like all
but
these
the
alternate
Wonder Flower
scenarios
had the power
that
to
they're
alter the
including. That's
universe.
amazing.
Also, the Dreamstone's ability to wish anything out of existence Trunks would have no problem cleaning up Super Neo Metal Sonic.
This
or
is
Tiger.
incredible what they're putting in. They
Tougher
put in so
call.
much extra
Together,
work.
The Chaos Emeralds can break the universe, but so can the Grand Stars.
Yeah,
Arguably
exactly.
not as much given the Emerald scaling to Solaris, though Power Stars and Grand Stars are far more plentiful. Clearly,
Yes,
this is
they
getting
can
fairly
stack.
abstract, and both had multiple options that could win the day instantly. So the safest bet is to call this category a tie.
I'm
Which
fine with
means
that.
It's finally time to compare their armies. Eggman seems deadlier at first glance. I mean, look at all those buzzsaws and rockets.
Well,
Metal Sonic
it's much
speed and
more
power
than
alone could
skin
solo
or
most
tech
of the
deep,
Koopa
I
troop.
suppose.
But the Eggman
Metal deep.
Empire lacked something Bowser had in spades: teamwork and loyalty.
And
Eggman
friendship,
is a
right?
notoriously terrible team player. His alliances are practically guaranteed to fall apart.
Hell, in Sonic Generations, he could barely manage working with himself.
Eggman's army is designed to be controlled by just him. To Eggman, it's harder to command those with free will, hence his rivalry with the free-natured Sonic.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
the Koopa troop follows Bowser because they actually like him. They train really hard to cover each other's
These are the
weak
small
points.
details that
Giving
could
them
matter.
plenty of advantages as this war progressed, like battlefield control through King Boo's magic and Bowser Jr.'s pain.
And again, once you
since
start
the Koopa troop
stacking
doesn't
that
rely
stuff,
much on technology,
it's hard to
Sage's
reverse
hacking
it.
potential had little use.
Also, secret weapon? Kamek is kind of busted.
Yeah, that-
Metal Sonic's
that was
power
what I was
stealing
relying
the
on.
Phantom Ruby, and potentially swapping the Chaos Emeralds were huge game changers.
Add on
Exactly.
that Bowser and his army can use any Mario power-up item, and they had billions of combinations that the Eggman Empire just could not actively plan against. Even with Sage's millions of plans to take on the Titans, she thought them to be unbeatable, which Sonic proved was incorrect.
Just comparing their
Oh,
conquests makes it clear. The
Very
Eggman
interesting.
Empire took over the whole planet, but Bowser's troop conquered.
you can't
most
say
of
they
the
don't do their
universe.
research,
Eggman
even
was
if you
no
disagree.
pushover. His wit, power output, and ridiculous machines gave Bowser the biggest fight of his life. But the Koopa
Yeah,
King's
it was a big
ludicrous
fight. Man,
abilities
I have
and
so
united
much to
forces
say,
ultimately prevailed.
but I don't think I have the
Tried to
words.
poach the king, and now he's cracked and scrambled.
The winner is
Very nice.
Bowser.
Good job,
Next
Bowser.
time on
Okay, and next
Death
time, what do we have? It's Among Us versus Fall Guys. For real? There is no
Subscribe and
escape.
join as a member.
No way. I was not expecting that. This was on the champion poll from like a couple years ago, the end of 2022. And this was not the episode from the champion poll that I was thinking was going to be the most likely to happen first, or I guess still technically first, because Kratos versus Asura and Simone versus Kyle were both on the champion poll, and they're both coming either next year or, early in 2026, something, we don't know for sure, but I was not expecting this one to be like the first one out of all of those, but okay, that is gonna be, so it's, I don't know if I'd say like it's an army fight again, but like it kind of is. It's gonna be a lot of stuff to look at, so okay, we got Among Us versus Fall Guys next time. We'll see how that goes for sure. I'm excited for that one. Not as excited for Bowser versus Eggman, of course. But I'm still looking forward to see what they conjure up with that one. So I know some people have been waiting for that one for a while. For the people who really love the games, like I think this is going to be a very unique episode. So I don't have much to say about it right now. I'll have a prediction for it, I'm sure, but right now, I just want to talk about Bowser versus Eggman. So I'm excited for the next one, but for this one, Jesus Christ. First of all, I just want to make sure, because I feel like I didn't bring it up early enough before, but the alternate scenarios where they like animated stuff like Dreamy Bowser and everything else that could have happened, or not everything that could have happened, but all those other things that could have happened, like that is something I never would have expected from Death Battle, and I think that's just amazing. I think for them to put in all that extra effort, because animation in and of itself, even those little snippets, would take so long to do after making this insane animation from start to finish. Like, all of that put together, like, is just a ridiculous amount of work, and I think that is so commendable, because that is not something they had to do at all. That's not something they've ever done before, but for a fight like this, it is so fitting, and I was so happy to see that. So, just from a sheer production perspective, for the amount of work that the animators and the editors put in, Jesus Christ, this was a monster. And I know that this was worked on for like a year or something, at least like it's coming up to a year or something like that. So for all that work to pay off, I know it's just a single YouTube video, but oh my God, this was that was great. So thank you all so much for all those production aspects, because it's just amazing. In terms of everything else, I do think I picked up on some things in the analyses, definitely not everything that I needed to, but I still held to it that, like, the stuff that they bring up is going to be the stuff that they talk about in the conclusion. Because with all the stuff they can bring up, it doesn't make sense for them to exclude things that are just coming out for the first time in the conclusion, you know? So it's going to relate to stuff that they have said before. And I definitely thought that Kamek was going to be a problem for Eggman. And I was waiting for them to talk about Sage, because I'm like, okay, well, we still want to talk about that. And yeah, I didn't even pick up on the fact that even with all those calculations, like, if she thought it was unwinnable and then it wasn't actually unwinnable, you know, and then you have a fight like Bowser, which, again, you know, you could possibly win, but it's the kind of thing where, again, it just seemed like Bowser had more ways to, like, reverse engineer Eggman's advantages, and the more that happens, the harder it's gonna be to gain that advantage back. They didn't really talk much about Metal's copy ability or anything. I'm still curious if he would be able to copy magic, though, because it was the biological mutations that he can copy, or not mutations, like just biological data that he can copy. So I'm not 100% sure if he'd be able to copy that. But either way, I don't, like, again, Metal Sonic, as powerful as he is still just one character on Eggman's side. Whereas, again, like, basically all the characters on Bowser's side can use the power-ups, and he can make duplicates and all of that. Like, I do think that, generally speaking, Bowser did have, like, just more consistent advantages. So I'm happy I got my prediction right, both in this very video and in my, you know, prediction video, but this was still a very hard fight to win for either character, and I think Death Battle did a really good job of trying to go into as much detail as possible while still trying to fit it into a sub-half-hour video. Like, that is commendable. That is still very, very commendable. So, you know, I don't think this is my favorite episode ever necessarily, but, like, I think the more I watch this, the more I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm definitely going to have more, like, succinct things to say about this when I do the podcast episode about Bowser versus Eggman, and also Among Us versus Fall Guys, now it looks like, because that's kind of what I've been turning my podcast into now, like, just reviewing the Death Battle episodes that come out. I plan to keep doing that in 2025, so that'll come out after Among Us versus Fall Guys comes out, and you'll be able to hear my more scripted thoughts, I guess. But just in terms of a very, you know, out of the gate, you know, out of theater experience, I guess, like right out of the theater, I love this episode. There is so much work that went into it, and so many shots looked beautiful. Like, the clash between Bowser and Metal Sonic, like, that's something that I didn't really expect to see, but, like, it just looked amazing. And I was trying to absorb everything as best as I could, because there was not a single frame where I didn't want to, again, absorb it as much as I could. So, you know, I think this was an amazing episode. Death Battle, you were right. I think this is among your best episodes, especially in terms of recent years. Like, this was great. I really hope you guys enjoyed this as well. I hope I don't sound like a crazy person to you guys, because, again, as someone who loves Bowser and Eggman, as someone who loves the Mario and Sonic games, like, and as someone who really wanted to see this episode, this was one of the best outcomes, or one of the best productions that I think we could have gotten out of this. So, you know, claps to you, Death Battle, because, again, this was incredible. I'm going to be watching this over and over and over again. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Did you enjoy? Did you not enjoy it? Who do you think should have won? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, comment your comment, subscribe if you could too. That would be amazing. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.